Paul, hello again.
Hi.
Now, this, of course, is a Delta Integrale, but what have you done to it? Because I know you don't keep your car standard.
No, it's an Evo 3, but what I've done is I've put 17-inch magnesium competition wheels on it, a twin exhaust system, twin outlet at the back, K&N filter, and it's super chipped, producing just under 300 horsepower and 310 foot-pounds of torque.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. These cars, though, were brilliant in standard form. I mean, as we all know, they were great in rallying and still, I believe, hold the record at Kielder.
Yeah.
But what have your modifications done to the car?
They've made it a lot faster responding, basically. It's still, in my opinion, the fastest car A to B on the roads today. It's a great fun car to drive. It's made it just that much quicker. In fact, so I had a little bit of a challenge with a Subaru WRX the other day, and he couldn't pass me. He was absolutely sick. I was really pleased.
I would have been sick as well. No, I love this car. I mean, this is the sort of thing I would love to aspire to. Out of your entire collection, what's yours?
This is my favourite car, without a doubt. If I had to get rid of just keep one, this would be it.
Really?
Definitely.
It is absolutely amazing. Have you ever thought of putting it on a track and racing it?
Absolutely, yes. I'm actually going to take it sprinting this year.
You are?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd love to see it in action. I mean, how many people are actually going to be able to keep with it?
There's some very good drivers out there with some very fast equipment, but around the very tight circuits, I think it's going to do particularly well.
Well, I've noticed in every single one of your cars, you've got radar detectors.
Yes, officer. I mean, yes, I have.
No, I thought they were still illegal.
No, there was a test case recently, and now it is legal to have them, to own them and have them switched on in your car.
Really?
Yes.
Now, you haven't got one in your Porsche. What's the reason behind this?
Very simply, you wouldn't be able to hear it. It's very loud in there.
Now, I know you've seen the programme.
Yeah.
And let's face it, I mean, if you've got the resources, as you obviously have, to take supercars and do them, you've got what most people would aspire to here in the Integrale. What would you say to the lads that are starting out with the Renault 5s and the other cars that we've had on the programme?
Quite frankly, I think they're absolutely wonderful. I really approve of what they're doing, and in fact that's how I started.
Really?
Yes, yeah, and some of the work that they put into their cars is easily as good as what I put into mine, albeit on a smaller scale, but when all said and done, if it's modified and it's individual and it's tailored to your personal taste, then you're doing exactly the right thing. I think it's brilliant.
So that's how you started?
Very much so, yes. Yeah. Yes, with 5 turbos, things like that.
Really?
Yeah.
So is it a long list of the cars that you had?
Yes, more than I could name on this programme, I would imagine. Yeah, I've had everything from, say, 5 turbos, 21 turbos, Cosworths, even a collection of Group B rally cars.
Really?
Yes.
Such as 6R4s,
6R4, T16, yeah.
Really? I bet they were fun.
Great fun, but not as much fun as this.
Really?
Absolutely.
Now those things really started to give the Lancias something to deal with, and they're not as much fun?
No, because they're out-and-out competition cars, and they're very difficult to drive on the road, as my Porsche, for example, is an absolute pain on the road.
So this is still really quite handy on the road?
This is pleasant. You can just tootle around, you can go shopping in it, and you can act like a complete dickhead if you want to. It's wonderful.
Nicely put. I want to take this car home.
It's not for sale. This is one of the cars I generally would not part with. In fact, this is the one, as I said before. I wouldn't like to part with it.
Oh, go
on. No chance.
Paul, we'll move on to some of your others. Thanks very much.
You're very welcome.
Right, here we are with the last car of Paul's collection that we're going to check out today. 911 Turbo, Paul, but with a lot of difference. You know a lot more about it than I ever would. Can you tell us what's happened with this car?
It's an extremely radical car. It started life as an obviously 911 Turbo. At the time when I bought it, I had an Alpine GTA, which was very quick.
Yeah, they are nice.
Tuned up by Jan Speed. I was very pleased with it, and a bit disappointed, to be honest, when I first drove this. And it started a course of events which have culminated in the car in its current specification. It's got more than 600 horsepower and more than 600 foot-pounds of torque at the rear wheels.
And that's what really counts, isn't it?
Yes, it's the torque and horsepower combined. It weighs 1,100 kilos wet. Therefore is probably the fastest vehicle on the road in the UK at the moment.
Oh my goodness. And you've actually done some quite high speeds in this car.
Yes, rather than quotes, obscure horsepower figures, etc., we developed it with K&N, Research and Development in Warrington, on their rolling road facility, which is state of the art. And it was specifically built in its current guise to sprint in the 930 Sports Sprint Series in the Northwest.
Yeah. So what kind of speed are we talking then, Paul? If we...
it'll turn a sub 3 second 0 to 60 without being absolutely precise. It'll actually do better than that.
That's very fast.
4.7 seconds to 100, 7 seconds to 140, and we'll do way in excess of 200 miles an hour.
Now, the thing that got me, I mean, that's a very fast car, but it's got 4 gears.
Yes.
And can you tell us again about what it does in first gear?
It does 60 in first, and just
second.
over 100 in second.
What happens in third?
Close to 170 miles an hour.
In third gear?
In third gear, yes.
Blimey.
Yeah.
And then we get a nice big top speed. How much money are we talking that you've spent on this particular car? It's an expensive car to buy anyway.
It must be close to £200,000 over the years. It's been 8 years in development. We've had the engine grenade 4 times at least. But finally I discovered a company in Warrington called DP Motorsport.
That's right, yeah. We had Dave on the programme.
That's right, and he has made this car exactly what I wanted. They've done a wonderful work with it.
Was it quite a challenge for Dave, do you think, to make a car?
Very, very much so, because to this day, and it's a truth, we don't understand why this particular engine is so powerful.
But isn't there something about the Porsches anyway? They can take some excess of 1,000 horsepower.
The drivetrain is designed to take 1,100 brake horsepower. And in fact, this car could produce 1,000 brake horsepower, but it would be just stupid on the road.
Yeah, it is now though, isn't it? It's quite...
It's a liability in the wet, to be honest.
Let's not mess around. It's got no sort of heaters inside or anything like that, so you can't...
No, there's no heaters, no air conditioning. It's, the speakers are a joke, because obviously it's so loud, you just couldn't hear a hi-fi.
So there's
a
no
nice
point.
install would be a waste of time.
But can you go any further on it from now? I mean...
frankly, no. This, I think, is where I'm going to stop.
And it's probably one of the fastest cars in the UK. And
I would say that, I mean, I'll take on anybody, any place, anywhere. I mean, I ride motorcycles, and this car is more than a match for my Blackbird. I have a Honda Blackbird up to 80 miles an hour, and thereafter is much faster.
Unbelievable. So it will keep up with most motorbikes, all motorbikes pretty much, then it will...
With the exception of the true superbikes, such as the Hayabusa or the Blackbird, I would suggest it's more than a match for any of them.
Would you say this is your favourite car that you've got here, then?
To be honest with you, I wouldn't say that. My favourite car is the Integrale.
Really?
Yes, A to B, I would say that there's nothing quicker. But for sheer thrills, this is it. But having said all that, it still doesn't recreate a motorcycle. I still got far, far more fun on 2 wheels.
Really? I think I could have plenty of fun in this. Can we take you somewhere to a track and see what this baby can actually do?
Absolutely, I'd love to do it.
Because we've got a few guys who've got some fast cars and things like that, and we'd like to have a day of checking those things out.
Yeah.
So you'd come down, yeah?
With absolute pleasure. Yeah.
Paul, that'd be brilliant. My last question is, what are you going to go next? I mean, you've got so many nice cars here. What are you going to go for next?
To be honest with you, there's nothing else I want. I mean, I had a goal that these were the sort of cars I wanted to own. I've owned lots and lots of cars, and this is the pinnacle of it. This is where I stop.
Absolutely unbelievable. Well,
unless, of course, I can find a 5'4" blonde, but even the cars don't help me in my stage in life.